Hi everyone, welcome in our class. Today we are going to proceed in our book Access Book 7, Unit 1. It's about meeting and greeting. I hope you will enjoy the class. Today our lesson is Lesson 2, Greetings. You can follow me in your books, pages 3 and 4. Let's start. Our objectives for today is to find out how people from New Zealand and Japan greet each other. We are going to focus today on greeting in New Zealand and Japan. And also are going to practice new vocabulary on the topic of greetings. Let's start with our first objective. What's a greeting? A greeting is a polite phrase or sign to welcome someone. If you want to welcome someone, you have to say a word or some phrases that are famous in the English language. One of these famous phrases is hello. What about sign? Sign is the action you do that it shows that you welcome someone. And one of the most famous sign is shaking hands. It's very famous around the world. And the word greet, which is our key vocabulary for this class, is to meet and say hello. So I want to say hello for everyone who joined in my class. Some introduction questions. You have to differentiate between greeting your teacher and greeting your friends. How do you greet your teachers? You have to use formal phrases if you want to greet your teachers or adults or anyone who is older than you. You have to use formal phrase. For example, good morning teacher, good morning sir, good morning miss, hello teacher, how are you miss? But if you want to greet your friends, here you can use some informal phrases. Example, good morning everyone. Hi Aisha, hi Amna, hi Ahmed, how are you today? Hi, what's up? How is it going? Hi, what's up? And how is it going are phrases used with friends, with classmates, with people who are at the same age. And like I mentioned, it's informal kind of greeting people. If you have a look at these pictures, what do you think these people are doing? Picture 1, they are greeting each other by shaking hands. So they are greeting each other, they are shaking hands. About picture 2, they are waving goodbye. They are waving goodbye. So waving is a sign of goodbye. and also it's used as a sign to welcome someone. Our key vocabulary in our class: touch. Touch. Touch is a verb which means an action. We use our finger or our hand to touch a surface. Here in the picture, touch your mobile screen. Head, it's the top part of your body. Head. Shake hands. Shake hands. When you hold somebody's hand and you move it up and down a little. Shake hands. Bow. Bow. This greeting is very famous in Japan. Now, what are these students doing? And where is New Zealand? These students in the school, they are greeting each other. They are shaking hands. Also, they are touching noses. And it's a very famous sign to welcome someone in New Zealand. If you have a look at the other students here, they are touching noses. But where is New Zealand? Here is New Zealand. New Zealand is an island country in Oceania. It's located in the South Pacific Ocean. So this place is the South Pacific Ocean, and New Zealand is a small island located here. It's around 2,000 kilometers southeast of Australia. Southeast of Australia. Now we are going to listen to a conversation between two students, Tariq and James. In this conversation, we are going to hear some questions and answers. After listening to the conversation, you are going to put the questions and answers in order. So concentrate, please, on the questions in the conversation. Now listen.
Hi, what's your name?
It's James.
I'm Tarek. Where are you from?
From New Zealand.
Where do you live?
In Ajman, near the Corniche. You?
I live in Aldeid, in Sharjah. How old are you?
16.
Me too. So, how do people greet each other in New Zealand?
We shake hands, but married people touch noses and foreheads too.
Here in the UAE, we also touch noses and shake hands. It's a small world.
Thank you for listening. Now, let's see the questions asked in the conversation. What's your name? Where are you from? Where do you live? How old are you? How do people greet each other in New Zealand? Now let's order them. Number 1, what's your name? 2, where are you from? 3, where do you live? 4, how old are you? And the last questions we heard, how do people greet each other in New Zealand? Here are the questions. What's your name? Where are you from? Where do you live? How old are you? How do people greet each other in New Zealand? Now, we have finished activity 2, the listening skill. What about Japanese people? How do they greet each other? How do you think people greet each other in Japan? We are going to read and to check. In this short passage, we are going to learn that Japanese people do an action which is different from the action we do here in the Emirates or in Arab countries to greet each other. Let's check together. In Japan, people greet each other by bowing. Visitors can shake hands and bow their head a little when they meet. The bow is quick. You don't smile, and there is little or no eye contact. Don't stand too close to the other person and don't hug them. As we notice here, Japanese people greet each other by bowing. But what about visitors in Japan? As for visitors, they can shake hands and bow their head a little when they meet. As for visitors, they can shake hands and bow their head a little when they meet. The bow is quick, so shaking hands is for visitors. But Japanese people stick to their culture and traditions and use bowing when they greet each other. Here, from this passage, we can learn that there are 3 actions that Japanese people do when they greet each other, and there are some actions they never do when they greet each other. They use bowing, they shake hands, and they bow their head a little when they want to greet somebody. And the actions they don't do when they greet someone, they don't smile, there is no or little eye contact. It means they don't look at each other, and they don't stand too close to the other person. Also, they don't hug each other. Don't smile, don't hug, and don't stand too close. These red actions you can't do when you greet someone from Japan. Now, after we have read the text, now we are able to decide if these sentences are true or false. 1. Japanese people do not greet each other by bowing. Focus here on do not greet each other by bowing. What do you think? Is it true or false? Great. It's a false sentence. Number 2, visitors don't shake hands. Japanese people, they respect their culture and traditions, but also they respect others' culture and traditions, and they know that visitors are not used to bow when they meet each other, so they accept that visitors can shake hands. So, visitors don't shake hands? No, it's a false sentence. Visitors are allowed to shake hands while they are visiting Japan. 3. Do not hug the other person. Yes, do not hug the other person in one of their customs there. It's a true sentence. Now we have found out how people from New Zealand and Japan greet each other. And we have reached the end of our class. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have enjoyed the class, and don't forget to subscribe. We are going to meet again in our next class. Thank you. Goodbye.